and I'd unlocked the shadow planche a couple of weeks ago. So I felt strong, and I was just like, I'm just going to go for the full planche. So I went for the full planche, and I got off the floor for a second. Or yeah. So I got that. My forearm pain's now gone completely. And that's where I was at then. And on day 200, something crazy happened.
Welcome to episode 2 of The Unlock, a new calisthenics-focused podcast where each week I bring on a new guest to discuss their journey and all things calisthenics. In episode 2, I'm speaking with Josh, or Josh Calite, as he's known online. He's grown to over 7,000 followers. Josh is from the United Kingdom. He's 19 years old, and he started his calisthenics journey in October of last year, which puts him about a month ahead of when I started mine. So I don't want to belabor this anymore. Let's jump into the episode with Josh.
Cool, man. Well, dude, it's super nice to actually meet you. I've been, following your content for some time, and honestly, what strikes me about it is just the consistency of it and the format, and like you're just basically bringing us into your workouts every day. But yeah, I wanted to bring you on and just like learn a little bit more about you and go deeper into your kind of fitness journey. Like where did it begin? Because I know you started calisthenics in October of last year, but I have a sneaking suspicion that you are that you've been in fitness for longer than that, right? So
Yes.
maybe just give us the overview of like where you're from, kind of what got you into fitness, when did your fitness journey start, and like kind of road into calisthenics.
Okay, so I'm known as Josh Calite online, and I'm from England. And yeah, everybody sees my calisthenics journey, and they look like back at day one, and a lot of people think that that was the day I started. But I think if you look closely, it's pretty obvious that I had some sort of experience before. So my prior experience to calisthenics, to starting calisthenics, was weightlifting. So I went to the gym for I'd say about 2 years before I started calisthenics. So I'm 19 now. I probably started my journey as like a lifting, going to the gym, whatever, about 3 years ago. So when I was about 16, that's when I started going to the gym and taking it sort of seriously. But yeah, I started off weightlifting, chasing PRs, like benching, all these things like squats, everything. And then I just got bored of it after a while. It was just repetitive lifting weights. It's like you can only lift so much weight before it just gets boring. Like I got to a sticking point where I think I reached like a 120 kg bench. That was my max. And then I still got to a sticking point for a couple of months because I was about 70 kg. I was struggling to progress, and I need something new. So that's what was sort of going through my head. So I saw, obviously online, you see these crazy skills, and you see like people doing insane stuff like thumb planches and crazy stuff. So I was like, what is this? And then I found out about calisthenics. And then I was just like, I always saw people in the gym doing handstands and stuff, and I thought that was impressive. Like all I wanted to know how to do was a handstand. Like I wish I could do that. And yeah, so I sort of, it got into my head that I just wanted to start calisthenics. I was still working at my old job in IT at this point, and I was about to move house. We were about to move house. So I thought to myself, when I move house, I have to quit this job anyway, and I'm just going to go all out on calisthenics, start a journey on social media, and just document the whole thing. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully I build a following. Hopefully I can do this properly, because this is really what I want to do. So I just knew from day one, this is what I want to do. I'm going to make this work. And it just transferred from weightlifting over to calisthenics, and that was when my journey sort of started.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I also come from the weightlifting side of things. It took me a little bit longer to to get that leap. I'm 25 now and made that switch this year, but better
Yeah.
late than never. And I was really feeling a lot of the same things that you were. It's just kind of like I would just kind of show up and just I knew what I was doing in the gym, but I'd kind of lost the fun in fitness a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly.
And so calisthenics, like you, I mean, I saw a lot of stuff on social media. I was like, man, like, maybe I can do pretty good with this because I already have a good base of strength. And it's just
Yeah.
that idea of like, you know, ripping a human flag on a stop sign. It's just like it was so like cool to me.
Yeah.
or a lot of the planche stuff too. But we'll get into that in a moment because you're working on that right now as well. So honestly, one of the things that blew me away, because I do research coming into these, and I scrolled back down to day 2, 3, 4, 5, right, looking at like just how you got started,
Yeah.
and you know you're doing a lot of different stuff, and throughout your journey, you've been very versatile in your approach, which is something that I feel like we have kind of common ground there because I've always felt like I wanted to be very versatile, like, didn't want to just focus on planche, didn't want to just focus on pull skills. And so you've
Hmm.
been kind of across the board as well. But one of the things that struck me was just how fast you kind of were making progress off the bat with some of these balance skills that I wouldn't have expected from a weightlifting background. So your handstand, even on day 2 and 3,
Yeah.
was not, great, but that's kind of where I was maybe,
Hmm.
weeks into the journey. So how do you feel like you actually had, like, with your balance early on and some of those kind of early days? How do you think things went? And
Hmm.
like, just walk us through kind of what was going on in your head and like, how did you get so good at handstand so fast?
Honestly, I think when I look back on my journey, I honestly believe that I had this thing in my mind, like I needed to do this. Like this is my dream outcome. Before I even started, I was like, this is really what I want to do. So the very first day I started, I had so much built up like motivation and I was so dedicated to do it. I think that helped a lot. And I know it's just like mentally, but I think that helped a lot, even just because it was mental. But yeah, with the balance side of things, yeah, on day 2, we were like, I was wobbly, but I was doing handstands to the point where I was sweating every day. Like I didn't just do a couple of attempts, wait a bit and carry on. I was doing handstands like over and over and over. I could do 50 handstand attempts in a row, 100 handstand attempts in a row without stopping and literally just be dripping in sweat. Like it was full cardio as well. Like I was burning a lot of calories from this. And I think just the fact that I attempted it and kicked up to the handstand so much, I just like I got used to it so quick. Like I realized how much I had to kick up to not fall forward, to not fall just straight back, and I figured that out super quick because I was doing handstands literally to the point where I was just dead every day.
So how
Um,
long were your workouts like early on, and do
they
you
were
recommend that to beginners, like to just like reps and reps and reps and just keep going? Because I feel like that is like a pretty good strategy on handstands. Like you just need to keep
yeah.
going. But like, yeah, how long were your workouts early on? And like, if you look back at being in those beginning stages, right? So to people listening to this right now that are looking to make that leap in their first kind of week or so of calisthenics, like what's your advice?
Yeah, so to anybody fully just starting calisthenics as a beginner level, base level, I'd recommend starting with the handstand anyway, because it gives you a good all round. Like you gain shoulder strength, you gain balance, and this is like two of the most important things when it comes to calisthenics as a beginner. Um, but yeah, my sessions when I first started were 3 hours, like on average, which is
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, and I don't even do that now, and I wouldn't recommend to do that once you're sort of getting past the base level. When you're starting to progress more into harder skills, 3 hours is way too long. You're gonna burn out. But with handstand, because you're not using strength most of it, like it's probably 80% balance, 20% strength, I'd say, maybe 70-30. But because it's mainly balance focus, you can get a lot more attempts out. And I did go through a phase where my wrists were in a lot of pain because I was overdoing it, but that comes with any skill like planche. If you can overdo it with your forearms, you need to give yourself a rest, but it's not like an injury, it's just your body needs to get used to it. So you can still do what I did, go crazy on the attempts, do it until you sweat, and then just take a couple days rest to let your wrist heal, go back at it, and then your wrists over time will just get stronger and stronger and stronger, because obviously your wrists aren't used to being in an upside down position with all the pressure being there. um but yeah, 3 hours was standard for me. It worked for me. And I do coaching, and I recommend to the people that I train, and I sort of coach them this way to, especially when you're first starting out, do pretty much everything you can till failure, except with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 days a week. And especially handstands, don't set a set limit, set a time limit. So
Right.
I did handstands for 30 minutes and maybe had 3 to 4 to 5 rests in between. And I just did as many handstand attempts as I could in 30 minutes, rather than saying, I'm going to do 10 handstand attempts a day, do 3 sets of 3 and whatever. And then you just stop handstands for the day. There was a lot of times where I would get to the 25-minute mark and then get my best handstand of the day. And if I stopped 5 minutes earlier, I wouldn't have got that handstand, which means I wouldn't have figured out the balance side of it that quick.
Yeah. And you were already making handstand push-up attempts in your first couple weeks. Honestly, like that's a skill that, I still haven't unlocked because my push is just terrible. But I have some theories as to why that is, but it's like the balance piece that I've been struggling with so much. So like, what's your advice on handstand push-ups specifically? And you were just already like watching your videos, it was just inspiring because it's like you're working on this stuff, but then you'd be like, and then I like just you go for stuff that you don't expect to get, and so you're constantly pushing the
Exactly.
limit of you'd be in a workout and you're like, well, I'm doing this today, but you're like, hey, I tried this, and tried to take it to the next level, and yeah, I mean, it's like, what's your advice for like handstand push-up though? Because I'm working on that right now. I know a lot of people struggle with that one, and so like, what's your advice to unlock that?
So I'll be honest, when I was doing handstand push-ups, and practicing them, not necessarily at the first stage when I was just learning, like I've just learned the handstand, I was still giving them like a good few attempts during my sessions. And I was just, even when I couldn't do it, right, I was getting into the handstand position and just trying handstand push-ups every single time I got up. Once I knew sort of how I could get the handstand, maybe like 3 out of 10 times, on them 3 out of 10 times, I would balance it for about 5 to 10 seconds and then just go for the handstand push-up, even if I couldn't do it. I watched videos on how the form worked, but that wasn't the main reason why I got it, because I didn't really understand it at first and how to do it. But then by about, I'd say, day 30, my training just transformed. Like every single session pretty much, with the exception of a few where I knew my shoulders just couldn't handle anymore, and I couldn't do anything. Like I could barely do a pike push-up. I just did handstand push-ups at the start of the session every single day, like every single day, 7 days a week. At the start of the session, maybe 20 minutes of just training. Same sort of thing with the handstands, where I just did 20 minutes consecutive training. I would do the same sort of thing with handstand push-ups. And if I got a good set, then I'd rest and let my shoulders rest a little bit and go again. But I noticed after maybe a couple of weeks that I then sort of got the balance and side of it pretty quickly, because I was doing it so much again. Like it's just repetition. You've got to get the balance, like how a baby learns to walk, sort of thing. You've got to just do it to learn it. You can watch so many videos, but your body gets used to it as you do it. So after about 2 weeks of doing that consistently, I noticed that I just needed some sort of rest or to do something else in between, because my shoulders just couldn't do it, because I would get to the lower part of the rep and I'd have the push in me because I had the balance, I had the shoulder stand, I got to the bottom of the rep, but then I just couldn't push up at all. And that was the days that I knew that I didn't have the strength, because I could always do handstand push-ups against the wall, maybe like 1 or 2 when I very first started, but I could always do handstand push-ups against the wall. And if you can do handstand push-ups against the wall, it's not a strength problem, it's a balance problem. So yeah, I knew it was, obviously I was overtraining at that point. So the way I sort of switched my training from that point was I'd do it like 4 to 5 times a week instead, and until I just mastered it. And yeah, then I just sort of kept doing it until I'd say about day 80 is where my training sort of shifted to just every single day pretty much doing handstand push-ups. And then I started incorporating other stuff. But I wasn't just training handstand push-ups. When I say I was doing that every day, I was doing that, and on top of that, I was training everything else as well. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no. I always lead with handstand stuff as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, I've seen your videos of, handstand push-ups in public. I'm like, dude, I need to be like Josh. Um, so in those early weeks though, what were maybe some of the challenges that you feel like you faced early on? Like when you look back at that beginning time, like was it a mental thing, a physical thing? Like where did you struggle the most?
It definitely wasn't mentally, because I was so dedicated. Like I was fully there mentally. Like, I wanted to do this. I wanted to progress so quickly. The main thing mentally for me was keeping up to date with the videos. That's been the hardest bit because I put so much work into my videos pretty much every day. Um, Try and make them as good as I can, script them out and everything. But training wise, it wasn't like a mental thing. It was um it was probably just the fact that I was overtraining, honestly, like to a certain extent. Like I probably could have maybe learnt these things faster if I didn't do it 7 days a week. Maybe I did it like 6 days a week at the start
Mm.
because there was some days where I literally couldn't do anything pretty much, but I still did it. So I maybe that did help. Um, because I still did pike push-ups instead of handstand push-ups, and I still did the alternative, the easier option. Um, so when I hear a lot of people purposely don't go to the gym because they don't want to overtrain, or they don't go to failure, and they're scared of going to failure every set because they're scared of overtraining. But there's nothing really bad that can come from overtraining other than injury. But if you're doing the sets, if you're doing it with right form and stuff, then you're not really going to get injured. And I think if you want to progress quickly, training a lot is the best way to do it, because you can't progress quickly by training half of what I trained, because you're
Yeah.
just not going to progress as quick as I am.
Yeah, I deal with the same thing where it's like I'm so obsessed with calisthenics that if I do take a rest day, it's because I'm like kind of forcing myself to take a
Yeah,
rest day and like step back and say, hey, I think my body needs rest, but my mind
yeah,
says like I want to learn these skills as fast as possible. So when I was learning human flag, I s- I got in front of the horizontal bars like every day, and if I took a rest day, it was only because I felt like that was really what I needed to do. But that is, I agree with you, like the fastest way is just be obsessed with learning these skills, and that's how you can make
yeah,
like a lot of really fast progress. Is if you really want it, and your mind power is focused on that thing, and so
yeah,
it's a gravitational pull towards that
yeah.
achievement.
I'd imagine
Um,
you've spent more time on human flag, right, than handstand push-up training.
it's getting close probably now.
Really?
So handstand, I mean, human flag, I did spend pretty much all of April learning that
Hmm.
skill and just I was just coming to the gym. There's one spot in the gym that has those horizontal bars where you can practice it, and it's not in a convenient spot in the gym. I've got a lot of videos showing kind of my journey there, but it was just yeah, like anything else in calisthenics, time and time again. And now I'm really focused on leveling up my push skills. So that's why I kind of
Yeah,
ambushed you off the bat with a lot of the push skills question, because that seems like you're really strong on those skills. And I would have
yeah,
expected, coming from weightlifting myself, I did a lot of shoulder press. I did a lot of, lateral raise, which may not be, the same thing, but I realized that all that shoulder strength, it may be translated to some extent, but it didn't give me the base or advantage I expected it to, or the same base of strength as the pull side. Like all the weighted pull ups
hmm,
I did for the last 2 years is really what I credit for a lot of the progress I made on front lever and on human flag and on, I mean, muscle ups. I had that even going into this. And I think you kind of did as
yeah.
well. They
My
were a little
muscle
bit
ups were
kippy,
just
but
yeah,
but I mean, again, like that's just another example where the progress you've made is amazing. And another thing is like on the dips. I saw you early on. I think day 8, you were adding 20 kg to your dip, and
yeah,
then on day 50, correct me, but I think it was like 54, you did a 65 kg dip,
yeah. I think that was my
which is
max dip.
which
Yeah,
is That's serious business, man. So it's like people think, oh, calisthenics, I got to step back from weightlifting. It's like I'm not going to get stronger. My physique is gonna deteriorate, and like we'll talk about that in a second. But like that's is absolutely
Mhm.
not the case. Clearly, you got stronger big time in this calisthenics journey. So maybe talk about that a
Yeah.
little bit and just like the strength building side of it too. Like throughout calisthenics, do you still do some weightlifting on the side? And like when it comes to building strength, is it the calisthenics stuff? Is it weightlifting? Like where are your thoughts on that?
So the way I train now, I've just basically eliminated weight training out of my whole training. Like I do, I'd say 95% calisthenics and 5% weightlifting, maybe at the end of one session a month or something. Just because the pump's better.
And that's
But
not how it started, right? Because I remember watching
no,
your day one calisthenics video. I'm watching it and I'm like, where's the
it's mainly
calisthenics?
weightlifting. Yeah, yeah. It was, yeah. When I first started, my training was fully split, maybe even more weightlifting than calisthenics. But yeah, I just, I was just a bit confused at the beginning. Like I didn't know
Right.
all the calisthenics exercises that I could do to help me progress. I was just like, if I just do the ones I know and then just combine that with weightlifting, then maybe that will help as well. So up until about day, even day like 150, I think, I was still doing leg exercises and leg weighted exercises and things like that. So I only recently like got rid of all of that. So I got rid of legs exercises. I don't do any more
No
legs
legs.
exercises, no legs, because my main goal now is to get super good at calisthenics. And we'll get onto this later, but today the video I'm uploading is day 200. And I don't know if you see my story, but the video I'm uploading today um, is one of the craziest videos I've done because I unlocked a skill that I thought would take me years out of nowhere, like out of nowhere. But yeah, we'll get onto that later. Um, Sorry, bro, I've just
No,
lost track of thought. What was the question again?
no, that's great. Honestly, I want to hear more about, what you can tell us about this day 200 video. I mean, this podcast will air for sure. Like I'll put this out after, so
Yeah,
you won't be
yeah.
spoiling anything, um, but no, I mean, we're just still just talking about the early days of your journey and just
I
I was
see.
asking you
Yes, yes,
about
yes.
weightlifting and how to build strength with calisthenics and whether you feel like you've gotten stronger because of weightlifting or calisthenics.
Yes. So, to do like with the strength side of it, I could definitely say I've got stronger doing calisthenics, and a lot of people think you'll lose your strength. Especially when you switch over from weightlifting to calisthenics, people think you'll lose strength on maybe your bench or something like that. But I know for a fact I could still bench 120, if not more now, um, just because I have tried bench and I could do 110 for like multiple reps, even like a few weeks ago. Um, and as for weighted calisthenics, if you want to build a good physique, that is, you can build just as good as a physique as weightlifting as you can with weighted dips and pull ups because it's the same sort of resistance. Um, and you can still build an incredible physique with just your body weight because if you go to failure and you push everything, it's still just the same resistance. Your body doesn't know the difference. So
Right.
physique side of things, you can build an amazing physique with both, and you'll get stronger if you do calisthenics as well, especially if you do weighted calisthenics because the transfer is very, very minimal because like you're still adding weight on, and the resistance is the same. Um, and yeah, my main goal now is skills. So I'm not doing weighted calisthenics. I'm not doing any weights or anything. I'm mainly focusing on skills because to learn the skills that you want to learn, you can't learn planche even if you get a 100 kg dip and you don't train planche. Like you have to just train planche to learn planche. It's the
Right.
same with when I want to progress more onto skills like the multis, which is just crazy. But I can't learn the multis by getting 150 kg pull up. Like it's just not going to transfer. It transfers to a
Right.
certain extent with some skills, but especially with the more advanced skills, you just need to train it and get better. It's like anything. You need to teach your body how to do it. That's the key. But yeah,
Yeah.
strength does
No,
transfer.
100%. I've been deep in that debate with one skill in particular, which is the front lever. I've posted bunch of videos and been outspoken about my thoughts on just
I've seen
uh,
them.
on the weighted pull-ups, man. I
Yeah,
mean, and that's only because, again, I was doing weighted pull-ups for 2 years. I came into calisthenics and I cracked it in 29 days. And so it's like, okay,
yeah,
what's the
that's
reason for
crazy.
that? It's the pull strength. It's literally the pull strength. And so I felt that strongly, but now I've even just this morning put out a reel on I'm doing more research into this now because it's just an interesting debate to me. But I fully agree with you with skills like the planche and other things. You need to train them directly because there's
Yeah,
so much more. With front lever, it's like 95% just like about how strong are your lats, right?
yeah,
And like the
exactly.
planche is just a completely different skill where I feel like the strain on your shoulder, on your arm, like your rotator
It's
cuff.
everything.
I'm not an expert, but it's everything's at play there, and it's there's not a lot that you're doing in weightlifting to actually put the stress on those tendons and your rotator cuff and all those things that are really building it for the planche. And so um, I agree with you. I think most people agree like planche, you need to definitely like be training that directly. So we'll talk about
Yeah.
kind of what maybe like double clicking deeper into your planche journey in a second. But take us
Hmm.
kind of through to today and how your training regimen has kind of evolved. So what does your current training regimen look like now? Is it like you follow kind of here's what I do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Like take us through the split of like how you approach calisthenics now.
Okay, so once you get to a certain level, and I'm not saying I'm super advanced or anything, like I'd still say I'm a beginner to me. Like I want to get way better than where I'm at now. So I still classify myself as a beginner, but once you get past the basic skills, you I'd recommend you to just not have a split. Like if you're focusing on a skill, cool, train that skill, but I don't have a split at all. I just use my brain, use my intuity, and if that's a word, um, and just train how I feel on that day, what skills I'm aiming for. So right now it's clean one arm handstand, planche, um, front lever pull ups. So getting a really good front lever, um, and 90-degree mastering like 90-degree handstand push-ups, and they're like handstand push-ups, things like that. I'm still doing them. But yeah, I'll just train what I feel like on the day. Obviously I'm not going to train planche like 5 days in a row because that's overkill. You just can't do that. Um, but yeah, I might train like planche and handstand push-ups on one day because they're push skills, and then I'll just train like if my shoulders are hurting one day, or maybe my lats are hurting because I've done front lever the previous day, I'll just train one arm handstand, maybe a whole session of one arm handstand, because that again is mainly balance. Like it takes a bit more strength than the normal handstand because you're on one arm, but it's still a lot of balance. So yeah, a lot of my training is just depending on how I'm feeling now, which it wasn't at all like a couple months ago. I had a full training regimen and knew what I did. I trained 6 days a week, and it was pull, push, legs, abs, and just trained like that. But now it's however I feel. And I've had this advice from other people as well, especially people that are way better at calisthenics than me. You just, to a certain extent, have to just train how you feel, and you've got to know your body and learn your body, because calisthenics is just a sport where you have to know your own body. Like you have to get so familiar with how you feel and what you should train and how to not overdo it to the point where you injure yourself. And because when you're moving on to these advanced skills, even though planche is still like a basic to these guys that are way above me, they still put a crazy amount of stress on your shoulders that you're not used to. Like nobody's used to when you're first starting out with that. Um, so yeah, you just, unlike with the handstands, what I was doing at the beginning of my training, you just can't do that. So you got to take it somewhat easy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. I really want to double click into the planche now because this is a skill that I think is the North Star for a lot of beginners getting into calisthenics that are really dedicated. And I'm someone that I totally think like you can take a versatile approach. You want to conquer the world. You want to be the best brace at calisthenics. That's great. That's great. I'm one of them. You're one of them, right? We're all trying to rise to the top, and I think like that's a great thing. Now you can also say, hey, like I just want to learn this one skill. All I want to do is bust a human flag on a stop sign. Like that's it. And so you can really pick and choose. Like it's kind of an a la carte menu of skills.
Yeah.
But the planche is the most common one that people add to their cart, and it's also one of the hardest ones to get. So what day of the journey did you start training planche? Where was your mindset when you decided, okay, today's day one of planche? And just take us through like how you tackled it.
So I could be wrong. I don't know the exact day, but I think it was around day 130, 40. And at that point, I'd pretty much got really good at other skills. And I was just like, I've denied planche for too long. I've just put it off. So I'm just going
in
to
just
start
over
training
2
it.
months, like, because you're at day 200 now. So in just over
Yeah.
2 months, the progress you made is insane. Keep going though.
Yeah. So I didn't even like do planche training at all for the first 100 days. I did it here and there maybe, like, but it was nothing like I should have been doing it if I wanted to unlock it, because it has to be a specific part of your training and you've got to do it a lot. So yeah, by about, I'd say, I could be wrong, 140, 150 was about the day that I was like, I say it in one of my videos, this is the day where I want to start training planche, and you guys are going to see me get this soon. How long do you guys think it will take me to unlock? So from that day, I started training it more specifically. I put it into my training. I figured out, I did loads of research, figured out like the progressions, and watched loads of podcasts. And this is where I got even deeper into the calisthenics, because to learn the planche, it's not just like learning handstand push-ups. This is cool skills, but to learn the planche, you've got to have a different sort of dedication. You can't just be one of the guys that say, I think this is cool, I want to learn this, and then learn the planche. You have to be so dedicated. Like, your life is revolving around calisthenics at this point if you want to unlock the planche. So yeah, I spent a good amount of time while I was editing. I'd just be editing and have a calisthenics podcast of one of the top guys and stuff talking while I was just editing, and I'd gained so much knowledge and just advice from these guys just doing podcasts of talking about how they've progressed so quickly and got to such a high level. So yeah, that was when I was like really in it. But yeah, I started learning about advanced tuck planches. So I started off doing tuck planches attempts, and they were awful. Like, I could barely do them. Like, I was doing them with 25 kg resistance bands at day like 150, and I'm sure you've seen some of them where I was at like day 170. I think I was still struggling with 25 kg resistance band straddle planche. Like, I couldn't do it. So yeah, it takes a different sort of level. It takes a different sort of dedication to unlock that. And yeah, I don't want to spoil it just yet, because I think we'll get onto that. But yeah, day 200 is kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen some of the later stuff too that's out now, and
Yeah.
have one clip that you've put out there where, it's maybe a 1 second full planche,
Yeah, that was
and so
crazy.
to go from what you just described on day 170 to that, I think there was a big unlock there that happened for you, right? There was a
Yes.
big realization.
Yeah.
So I'll let you talk about what that was, and kind of looking back, maybe what you wish you would have implemented sooner.
Okay, so yeah, there's two like crazy big things that came into play for me getting that full planche on that day. And one, it was actually I got a coach. So I got a coach. He sort of talked me through it for the past month, and I didn't unlock the planche while he was coaching me. But I took his advice and just like wrapped it up and used it for myself. And that was when I sort of locked down the planche form. And my planche form was pretty much perfect at this point. So it was just about actually getting it now. Biggest thing was protraction. I wasn't protracting properly at all, and I didn't really know how to do it. But once I learned that, it got a lot easier. But the biggest thing that helped me and also held me back, but then helped me get to the planche on that day 188, I think it was, where I got that 1 second full planche hold with really bad form. But it was a proper, it wasn't even that bad form. I just didn't get my legs that high, but the form was actually pretty good. But yeah, it was forearm pain. So I had forearm pain a lot when I was training planche, like the previous couple of months. So, and that's normal for any beginner, because when you start, it's the same thing with my wrists. When I was starting handstands, my wrist couldn't handle it, my forearms couldn't handle it with planche. So it was really like putting me down a little bit, because I wanted to train it, I wanted to unlock it, but I couldn't, because my forearms were just hurting so much. I couldn't even hold myself off the ground, really. And there was days where I couldn't even handstand properly because my forearms were hurting so bad. So a lot of people get it, but I got it really bad, like really bad. So I took about 2 weeks off planche around day like 170. I came back and my forearm pain was minimal. Like it was pretty much gone. And I tried planche and it felt really good, like really good. So this whole time I thought to myself, has it literally just been my forearm pain that's been holding me back? Because I feel so strong. I can nearly do a straddle planche. And then I don't think I recorded that, because I just did that at home when I was just practicing and getting better. So then I recorded day, like, I don't know, 176. I don't know what day it was, but I went into the gym and I was just doing handstand push-up training at the start, and I attempted a planche because I was like, I still don't want to overdo it, but I'll attempt an advanced tuck planche. I did it. It felt super easy, like super easy. I got pretty much no forearm pain. It felt really easy. And then after that, I attempted a straddle planche and I unlocked it. Like I got it, and then I made a video about it, and I was like, how has this happened? Because a week ago, literally, no,
Yeah.
it was 3 days ago, 3 days before that moment where I unlocked the straddle planche, I attempted planche on one of my videos, and I attempted a straddle planche with a 25 kg resistance band, and I couldn't hold it for a second. And I couldn't, I was holding a normal tuck planche for 3 seconds, and that was it. That was failure. But yeah, gave it 3 days, went back to it, unlocked the straddle planche out of nowhere, and my forearm pain was pretty much gone. So by day 188, my forearm pain was gone pretty much, and I kept training planche again. And I'd unlocked the straddle planche a couple of weeks ago, so I felt strong, and I was just like, I'm just going to go for the full planche. So I went for the full planche, and I got off the floor for a second, or yeah. So I got that. My forearm pain's now gone completely, and that's where I was at then. And on day 200, something crazy happened.
I think we can guess what that is. But okay, so the forearm thing is huge for me because I'm dealing with that right now. Like that's my, I feel like biggest obstacle when I'm doing, planche training is, and the other thing I struggle with too is what you're saying about how you need to be so dedicated to planche. And so up until this point, I've had this strategy of like, I'm going to conquer the world, and I'm working on this, and I'm working on this, and I'm working on this. And I'm still, feeling like, hey, I should probably have a pretty solid handstand push-up before I really get serious about planche, right? Like that's how I feel about it. Actually, I'd love to get your thoughts on that too. I think that's probably a wise choice.
I think that's what I did. I mastered the handstand push-up before planche, but I just think it will help you in general anyway, because once you've got the handstand push-up locked down, you can go to failure on your shoulders, and that will give you a lot of strength. Like I clearly had the strength in my shoulders. That wasn't the problem. The problem was in my forearms, just the pain. So the handstand
Let's double
push-up,
click there. What do you think? How did you do you think it was just taking that little bit of rest, or that you said it was a week or two or something where you just
I took like
went away from planche?
Yeah. So I took about a week or two off of planche, and then I just did it intermittently. Like I said, like 3 days, I took a 3-day rest and then came back to it and got the straddle planche. But I was icing. I got advice from my previous coach, and he said ice it. And so I was icing my forearms a lot before, while I was just laying down or working or whatever. I just have ice on my forearms. I would do
So not even during workouts,
stretches.
like just
no,
just
yeah,
icing it intermittently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and doing some forearm stretches and wrist stretches and things like that, just to do anything I could, because I was so dedicated to actually getting it. And this is where I was watching all the videos, because I was like, I need to get this, and I was just trying to find any way to stop this pain so I could carry on doing it. And I was searching up, why am I getting so much pain? Because I don't feel like anybody else is getting this much pain. Like, everyone says they've got forearm pain, but they keep doing it, and I can't do it. Like, I literally couldn't do it. So yeah, just icing it and just doing it intermittently, and taking some rest between is what helped me.
Yeah, no, that's, I think, super like actually like incremental like value advice there, because a lot of people deal with the forearm pain, including myself. So I'm
Yeah.
certainly listening to what you're saying there, because I do feel like I'm quite strong, and I feel like,
Hmm.
there's no reason that me or you or anyone shouldn't be able to achieve planche with a lot of hard work. But it's some of these frustrating obstacles that we deal with where it's like, oh man, like
Exactly.
I should be strong enough for this, but it's like, what is this random pain I'm feeling?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's good advice. So okay, so what do you feel like now looking ahead? How close do you think you are to, and I don't know what you're insinuating on day 200, but maybe just looking forward, like, do you think that you can unlock planche soon? And like when you feel, uh, I mean, that would imply a pretty like quick progression from
Yeah.
like lost on tuck planche to like
Yeah.
full planche holds in like 2.5 months is fairly unheard of. So what are maybe the three like big bullet points that you can share on, like, hey, if you're a beginner wanting to unlock planche, like here's what you got to
Yeah.
do.
So number one is get good form. Like, just fix your form. Figure out, watch loads of videos. Figure out the main components of what makes a good planche, and don't listen to the ones where it's like so in depth and the ones that just don't really matter. The main things are scapular protraction, grip, and you're having your biceps out, and just the main things, right? You want to engage your glutes, you want to push down. So yeah, there's the main things are there. There's about 5 to 6 main things that you want to sort of go into, and make sure you've got that down. Focus on lean planche holds to just get that form locked down, and then all you need to do after mastering your lean planche holds down is lift your legs off the floor. That's where you want to be at. You don't want to have so many other things to fix. So that, and do it as much as you can. If you can do it a lot, because some people don't get forearm pain. Some people are just lucky like that. Like, I know a lot of people don't get wrist pain when they do handstands and learn handstands, but I got wrist pain a lot where I had to stop training them for a couple of days. So as much as you can do it, do it. Like, if you can do it 4 to 5 times a week, then do it 4 to 5 times a week. But they're the two main things. And one other thing that a lot of people do, but I don't think is actually that beneficial, is, I still do it, but it's not really to learn the full planche, is if you want to learn the full planche, I wouldn't recommend training the straddle planche, because it's a bit like front lever. If you want to learn the full front lever, don't train the straddle front lever, because your body needs to get used to having your legs together when you do the exercise, not apart. So this is one of the advice that I also had my coach and he gave me. But yeah, I found that tuck planches, advanced tuck planches, and even more advanced tuck planches, getting your legs even or knees even further back, helped me a lot more with progressing with full planche than straddle planche did. Because I've watched loads of podcasts, loads of people, like I said, and I heard loads of people saying, I had one of the best straddle planches in the world. I could hold a straddle planche for 40 seconds, but I could hold a full planche for 2 seconds. And they're two different exercises. So I see loads of people using the straddle progression, and it's just not the best way to progress. You're better off doing a super advanced or even half lay planche where your legs are together than doing a straddle planche where your legs are apart, because it's two different exercises. So they're the three main things: protraction, keeping your legs together, and what was the other thing I just said?
I don't remember either.
I sort of went off on a little bit of
Yeah, no,
a
you're good. I
tangent,
think
but
I think we got the three,
yeah,
but I
it'll be there.
also
3 points are in there somewhere.
they are. All right, so what else you're working on right now is a one arm handstand as well,
Mhm.
and and front lever pull-ups, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So
Okay. So how are those going?
very recently, I started front lever pull up training. So I'd say within the last week. And I'm having to use a resistance band right now, and I'm barely even being able to get up to the bar. Like I can't even really get up to the bar. I'm like this far away. So
Are you doing
yeah, they go.
tucked with a band
No, I can do
pull-ups?
tucked with a band,
Yeah.
fine. Like that, I can reach the bar, but it's full front lever pull ups that I can't really reach the top bar
Right.
yet. So I'm still working on them, and that's like a main goal. Obviously, planche and one arm handstand. I have the one arm handstand unlocked, but I'm trying to get it cleaner and more consistent. So I can probably
Dude, you
get a
were
good
going
one
for
arm
that on like your day like
10.
15. I think I saw you
Yeah,
going for one arm handstand. So that's the stuff I'm talking about, where it's like so early on, you're just trying this stuff, and I do think that really helps. Where
yeah,
it's like, even
it
if it's
did.
just a total failure, it's like, hey,
Yeah,
you're putting it in your mind that that's now something that's on the table for you, and that you can
yeah.
actually have, uh, you can actually work on. Um,
Mhm.
all right, here's a question. What has been the most surprising thing throughout your calisthenics journey? And you don't have to tell us what
Uh,
happened on day 200, but
so the most surprising thing that's happened during my calisthenics journey is on day 200. Yeah, I'll explain what happened on day 200 because it'll obviously be out when this comes out.
yeah.
But yeah, so on day 200, I just got back from Italy, and that's in day 199. You'll see if you go back from my journey. And day 200, I got back and wanted to train. I came back, and if you see this behind me, this is my brand, Calite, and I'm working on this. Things are coming out. I don't know, maybe stuff will be out when this comes out, but I'm working very, very hard to get things ready, t-shirts, equipment, things like that to get ready. And I have the first sort of samples ready, and my Cali parallettes arrived. So when I got back, I opened them and I was like, wow, these look so sick. I want to do my first training session with them. So I went outside, and when I got back, my outside gym that I've been keeping a little bit of a secret, but it's like a Cali outside gym sort of thing. And it's like a little corner. It's got a high pull-up bar that I'm going to learn like dynamic skills on. And it's got front lever bar. It's got a human flag bar. So I've unlocked the human flag now, which I've never trained before. But
You just
yeah,
unlocked it?
I just
Just
unlocked it in the first day. Yeah, yeah. It must have just transferred. I think once you got the front lever, the human flag is just like it's not the best. Like it doesn't look anything like yours. I held it for like 3 seconds and then I fell, but it was my first day training it. But yeah, that wasn't my main focus. The main focus was using the Calite parallettes, making a really sick video, and the background looks so cool. It's got my logo on the wall, so I've got like a new cool place to train. And on day 200, I recorded my video, just like I would any other day. But I thought, I just want to try a planche because I've taken rest while I've been on holiday, and I've trained a little bit. Like I've kept up with my training, but I wasn't training as hard as I usually do. So I'm still training a lot while I'm on holiday, but I train very, very hard every day, pretty much. So it's a little for me. But yeah, I came back. I wanted to try the planche. So I put the parallettes down, and I had even more motivation, I think. And I put my favorite song on. I listened to it. I got the Calite parallettes out, and I attempted planche. I got like a 5 second, 4 second full planche hold. Like insane, like insane. Um, I got a little less time hold where my legs were pretty much completely parallel, like complete straight line. So I'd say I've unlocked the planche now. Like I don't
wow.
know how I could say that, but I've unlocked the planche now, and you'll see that I'm literally gonna upload this video after the call. It's like a 3 minute progress
Yeah.
journey, and it's just gonna go for everything, and
That
it ends with the planche.
yeah, I can't wait to see it, and I can only imagine kind of all the emotions there, because it's like I said, I mean that's kind of obviously a huge achievement, but it's just when you actually unlock something that you've really been like blood, sweat, and tears in for a while, and it's just like, yeah. And I've filmed those videos where it's like you got the cool background, your favorite songs playing, and you just like have that moment, and it's like it's kind of like the stuff I used to feel in weightlifting where I would be in the gym and you're kind of like by yourself and you're in your zone or whatever. But this is just like that times 10 because you're doing these like
100%.
cool skills. You're totally locked in. And I mean, for me, it's like human flag's a great example where like day one, like I walked up to the bars. I was like, how do I even like what am
Yeah,
I
I
even
don't even
doing
hold it.
here? Like, and I
Yeah,
feel like an idiot. And I'm in the gym and everyone's looking at me and I'm like, what is, like, I'm just trying random stuff and like everyone looks at you, knows what you're doing. But then on day whatever it is to unlock it and just be like, oh my God, and just all that
yeah,
transformation, like kind of, um, yeah, that's awesome, man. Like
yeah.
unlocking full planche is the goal. I'm hoping to be like you. So,
Yeah, I
um,
will say since I did that, I'd say it's about day 205 now because I'm a little bit ahead on the daily
okay,
videos. And yeah, at this point in time, I'm going through one of them little phases again where that day where I did full planche
kind
absolutely
of,
killed me. Like it killed me. I did about 4 full planche attempts and got it every time. Um, but it's killed my shoulders. Like my shoulders are in a lot of pain and they've been in pain for like the last 5 days. So they're getting better now. But especially my left one. I haven't been able to train planche since. So I'm hoping over the next like week or two I can get back to it. But usually this happens where I get the skill or like I do the skill well. Same thing happened with handstand push-ups, handstands, all these things. I'll unlock it and then I'll go for a phase where I just get a little bit
yeah,
injured. But then when I come back to it, that's when I can sort of progress. Like I
yeah,
can really take it like far. And my goal for the next 100 days to day 300, now that I've unlocked the planche, is hopefully planche push-ups. Like I set a goal for myself. Like my
that's
goal for
great,
day
man.
200 was a 90-degree handstand push-up. I I did not expect to get to this level by just day 200 because I knew how hard this was going to be. But yeah, it's been very quick recently.
Yeah, I one of the things I tell beginners in calisthenics is which is absolutely true, is like progress is non-linear. Like you
Yeah,
will be coming to the table, failure, 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 and then you'll have this huge success, and then you'll go back to failure, failure, failure.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And so it's that's why you just have to keep going is the most important thing because those
Yeah,
big unlocks will come, but then like you said, you have that day where you just blew out 4 or 5 planche attempts, like everything went well, but then you're just spent. And so maybe that's one of the big takeaways from planche and your experiences. Hey, if you're training planche, like train it consistently, but maybe having those longer breaks is really important, right? It helped
it
with your
is. Yeah.
forearm. It helped with your overall progression. So that's one of the things I'm gleaning from our conversation here. But I want to fly through some other topics really quick because
Yeah.
we're going a bit long here, but I want to ask you about your nutrition as well. So like talk
Mhm.
us through maybe a day of eating and this is just general fitness talk, but this is
Mhm.
ramping into the physique discussion as well. But what do you kind of eat in a day?
So my eating isn't like I wouldn't say it's my main focus, like at all. I just try and eat healthy. So I have the same breakfast every morning, which is like 2 slices of bread, 3 eggs, and 3 slices of bacon with some tomatoes. Like, I have this every single morning. So I know it works for me. I know how many calories, and I know like it keeps me lean, and it works. So breakfast I keep the same every day. Then I don't have anything till lunch, which is just pretty much whatever's there. It usually has the same amount of calories in. I usually have the same portions no matter what it is. So one day it'll be pasta, maybe it'll be like rice, maybe it'll be like I don't know, some like curry from the shop or something. I don't know. So it's not like the most healthy stuff all the time. It's just calories and trying to be healthy. Like I'm not out here eating McDonald's or whatever. And I've actually, this is a good point. I've got celiac disease, which means I can't eat gluten, which means it also keeps me quite healthy anyway, because a lot of shit food has gluten in. So I can keep it quite healthy anyway because I have to, because else I just feel like shit. But then I'll have that. I'll train at about 6. I'll have a banana before I train, about 30 minutes before I train, and then train at about 6, and then I get back and then have dinner, pretty much whatever my mom cooks for me. That's what I eat, but it's healthy. So
Yeah.
um that's honestly it. I usually have them 3 main meals, and maybe occasionally I would have one tiny snack throughout the day. But not really. So it's just the 3 main meals, and I just keep it
Yeah.
maintenance at the minute. But I was I was about 2 months ago, I was about 72 kg, and I wanted to lower my just weight a little bit so that the skills would become easier, because in calisthenics, like, the lighter you are, the easier the skills are. Um, so I wanted to drop to about 68, and I'm about 68 and a half now. And to do that, because I eat a lot of the same every day, especially with breakfast, I just took away 2 slices of bread from my breakfast, and I knew that was going to help me. So it's just easy for me to lose weight because I eat pretty much the same calories every day. And I know that's maintenance because I don't put on weight, I don't lose weight.
Right.
So if I want to lose weight, I just take a bit out of what I'm eating as maintenance, and then I just lose weight. Same if I wanted to put on weight. So I just find it really easy to go up and down in weight.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear you say that you eat the same foods every day because I also do that, and I think you and I
Yeah.
have like pretty like that's something I notice with people that care about kind of the physique side of things as well is like I regardless of kind of your theory around diet or whatever, like being consistent with the same foods every single day just allows you to be so precise with being able to really fine tune whether you're, in a very slight bulk or cut or like what you're doing, you can
Yeah.
really, really
100%.
fine tune it. What about sleep? Do you get good sleep?
Sleep, I try and get 7 hours a day, pretty much. I go to bed at pretty much the same time every day, which is like 11 o'clock, and then I wake up at the same time every day as well, which is like 6:37.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed with you, like your physique seemed to improve dramatically from a year ago to now.
Hmm.
So I think I saw a post in May 2024 and then just to now. So like how do you feel like like what do you think has been the major factor there? And so for people that want to like are a little bit earlier on in their calisthenics journey, just in the physique side of things, I think is important too. Like if you have too high body fat relative to your strength, like you're just simply not going to be in a position to perform a lot of these skills.
Yeah.
So, what do you recommend for people that really need to focus on that first, building strength, losing fat, like and really improving kind of your physique in that sense?
So if you're at a level where you want to sort of get a better physique and in general, then you can do that from calisthenics or weightlifting or just cutting calories. But it you can do it from whatever. If you want to do it from calisthenics, you want to do the basics, and you just want to, even if it's like pull-ups, push-ups, dips, things like that. Um, but yeah, what I've noticed in myself with physique-wise is that calisthenics has gotten me very much more um vascular in certain places, and also I've got really like in-depth shoulders and in-depth muscles rather than weightlifting, which I know you can get over years and years and years of training. But because calisthenics targets a specific muscle so much, like with the planche, it's targeting muscles that the gym just doesn't hit like at all. Um, and that's why you see all these top calisthenics athletes with like crazy, crazy shoulders. Like you can see insane definition in the shoulders because calisthenics targets these muscles so specifically. So anybody can get a good physique with calisthenics. It's sort of just how you go about training. But yeah, that's been the biggest thing with my physique. I've also dropped a bit of weight. Like I've probably dropped about 4 kg since I was weightlifting. So I guess that makes me look better because I've got lower body fat percentage. But I also think my muscles I haven't lost muscle in any way. Um, if anything, I've put muscle on.
Yeah. Um, I feel like taking out those 2 slices of bread may have maybe that made you a little bit leaner.
Yeah, yeah, it did
Um,
definitely.
I stick to a very low carb diet myself, and I find that I'm very sensitive to if I start eating more carbs, then like
Mhm.
I start to bloat out a little bit. Um but
Yeah,
anyway.
you're shredded though. You're a lot more shredded than me.
Yeah, I
Like
got
I'm,
down pretty low because I was just trying to
yeah.
get as shredded as possible. But yeah. Um so maybe tell us more about your brand, right? So Cali, like
Mhm.
what was the origin of that, and kind of what's the mission there, and what's your vision?
So ever since I started calisthenics on the first day, before the first day, I knew that I wanted to first start calisthenics, number two, master calisthenics, number three, help people with calisthenics and teach people. And that's why I wanted to document my journey. And number four, build my own brand. So I wanted to make a career out of this before I even started it. Um, so I knew I wanted to do this and I knew I wanted a brand. So by about day 50, I was getting a bit of traction on social media and I came up with the idea of a brand. Thought about names, thought about like paid logo designers, whatever. And then I came up with the name Calite, because my brand is elite. I want it to be the most elite calisthenics brand. I don't want to cheap out. I want it to be better than. I'm not going to say the names of these other big calisthenics brands, but I'm sure we all know them. But yeah, my goal is to literally just make the best stuff that. How can you refuse to buy it? Because it's just going to be the best. It's going to be the best looking. It's going to be the most elite. And it's also going to be cheaper because I want to make it better than these other brands, in every way. So that's the goal with Cali. I want to make it elite, calisthenics for the elite. Um, and yeah, I've got my own parallettes right now that I'm working on, and they're nearly done. I've got my t-shirts that I'm working on are nearly done, so they're going to be available for pre-order very soon, within the next month or so. Um, and yeah, I'm really excited for that. And this is sort of the start of this journey. It's going to be, I'm going to have like a whole account. I want to make it big. I'm also going to need like a lot of sponsors and whatever. I need to make this brand what it is, what I know it can be, because I've put a lot of work into it. And there's a lot that goes into a brand, especially when you want to make it the best and you don't just want to cheap out on the first sample that comes, because going through manufacturer after manufacturer is a lot of work.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Like, yeah, this is a big undertaking, and you're only 19, right? But I think the
Yeah,
ambition is great, and I I'm excited to see what you do with it. I support anything that's gonna help, beginners and help people, or help the calisthenics community grow.
yeah, for sure.
So that's really exciting, man. And I love the name too, Cali. Like
Yeah, this
that's
is
a
this
really
is
good name. It's a good
yeah,
brand. Like
that's
that's
I love the name. That was the best thing out of this whole thing. The logo and the name, especially just the name in general. I love the name. That's my favorite thing out of creating this brand. The name that I came up with, it
how'd
just
the
works
parallettes turn
perfectly.
out?
The parallettes, I've got the first sample. I'm waiting on two more. The first parallettes, they look amazing. Like they look amazing. So I'm hoping the design is good. The problem with the ones that I've got right now, they're just a bit light. Um,
Mm,
and you can feel the logo on the wood. So these are the little things that I need to just make adjustments to, because I
right.
want to make it perfect. I don't want to cheap out at all. So these parallettes are perfect. Like you could use them and they're just as good as the other brands, but I want to make them better. And like,
I love that.
I just don't want to go with what I like. I don't want to go with anything less than what I know I want for my brand.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Let's touch on your content for just a second. Like, what do you say to people that want to get into the content creation side? Your content has been so consistent throughout. Like, your format is
Mhm.
is like very consistent. Here's what I worked on today, and it's like bam, bam, bam. So you put out really high quality stuff, and
Mhm.
I'm like trying to, take notes on that too. So what's your advice to people that want to get started in content creation, and tell us about like kind of your experience with that?
So my experience when I first started out was that I was very like nervous to start recording myself in the gym, especially like I had to get a tripod out and record myself in front of everyone, and everyone's obviously looking at you, especially when you're doing crazy stuff on a bar or not doing crazy stuff on a bar because you're trying to learn it, and when you're falling
Exactly.
over trying to do handstands. Um, but yeah, if anyone wants to start social media or just start calisthenics and record your journey like I have, you've just got to do it. There's no perfect time to start, and a lot of people say this, but there just really isn't. Like you could either wait until you unlock the planche, but then you could have just started before and documented your journey and had loads of followers. So I just started, and my content was awful. When I first started, it was very basic. Like I was very shy just talking into my mic and doing a voiceover. Like if you go back to my day one, I sound a lot different to how I sound on my videos now. And that just comes with time, and same with editing. Like I've got better at editing, and I just edit on CapCut. I want to sort of go off and into other things, but onto other softwares to get more advanced. But yeah, my editing's got a lot better. I've got like my format that I try and stick to, and I've got a rough idea how long I want to keep this journey going for, because I know it's not the most viral worthy stuff that I could be putting out there. There's a lot more other content that I could put out there that would probably get a lot more views if I did, and I could use my time towards that. But also this journey gives me something unique, because not many people document their journey like I've been for this long, and it shows people how they can actually progress super quick if you know what you're doing, if you have the dedication and the motivation to start. And I just think it's very authentic from day one to now. There is obviously I've tried to use hooks, but that's not because I want to make the content different in a way. It's because I want it to reach as many people as possible, because I want to help and motivate people as much as possible. So the content has slightly changed from me just talking over my workouts to here's how you can do this better and whatever, and then going over my workout as well. So if you watch my content, that is sort of why I want to reach a bigger amount of people, to help people to help the calisthenics community grow. But yeah, if you're looking to get into social media, just start. There is no perfect time.
Yeah. Where do you see kind of your content going in the future? I mean,
So
what
yeah,
are some of those other ideas?
so after my calisthenics journey has sort of concluded, it started off with day one of becoming a calisthenics master. So
Right.
when I classify myself as a master is way too long, because I don't think I'll ever classify myself as a master if I always want to get better, because you can never master something that you always want to get better at. So I think that's sort of gone, and I just need to set a day where I'm like, okay, this just has to be the end of this journey, but I want to make it a good day, where I can solidly say like I've really done some good things in calisthenics now. But yeah, the future ideas are more so towards putting my time towards YouTube, putting my time towards tutorials to help more people out that way, collaborating with people in like a similar area, and doing like in real life collabs, doing eventually, once I've unlocked the skills, doing like crazy skill videos, reaction videos, going out and doing reaction videos, trying to grow a really big audience in calisthenics like a lot of people have done. But yeah, my time is, I spend anywhere from 2 to 4 hours on daily videos, usually editing them, scripting them, doing the voiceover, cutting them down, everything. It could even be, it was
Wow.
longer when I started. I've got better at editing now. So I would spend a whole day, like I was a lot of time, 6 to 8 hours usually on them videos when I was starting out, because I just needed to learn everything. It's obviously gotten a bit quicker now, but yeah, it's a lot, especially with the other stuff I'm doing. Like I said, I'm creating my brand, I'm coaching people, I'm working on other videos. Like they're not the only videos I do. I also do other videos as well. And that's how my account has mainly grown. Like the daily videos have done okay, yeah, but for my growth, it's been the controversial videos and the ones that get more views that
Yeah,
have really helped me grow.
I could think of one in particular.
Yeah. So the thing is, you've got to do them if you want to ever change the calisthenics community or grow the calisthenics community, because unfortunately it just is what it is. You can't change the way the calisthenics community is going, or grow an audience and share your journey without being somewhat controversial, because my daily videos just don't get views. Like, they don't get as many views. Some of them, I mean, I've had a daily video and my max one's like just under 1 million, but the other videos, some of my other videos have 1 million, 2 million. Like, you've just got to expand and be somewhat controversial.
Yeah, 100%. All right, I want to move on to some just like quick fire questions as we close out here.
Yeah, okay.
So I've got one that I'm gonna hit you with to start. So what was the what was your favorite song that you played when you got the Planche on day 200?
So that song was, I've listened to it for a while, and it's honestly, I think it's a TikTok song I've heard on TikTok. But have you ever heard Luna Bala? And it's like, it's the slowed version of that, and it's got such a sick beat drop. And I did the planche on the beat drop. And that's now my favorite song. That was my favorite song anyway.
That's so hype. When I was a beginner, when I was doing I would be in the gym and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try like to do like a little like calisthenics combo. I put Matushka Ultra Funk.
Yeah, it's the funk music that gets me going.
Yeah, you can't be a true calisthenics athlete if you're not listening to funk music.
Exactly.
All right. Other more innocent quickfire questions. So are you morning or night training?
Night training, and I'd recommend that to anyone. Yeah, I'd recommend that to anybody.
Really? Wow. Okay, tell me why.
Because in the morning, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm not a morning person, but in the morning, you're like, just scientifically, your body isn't at 100%. Like, your body takes a lot of time to get to 100%, and I'd say it's about. I told you earlier, I've got celiac disease. So back when I was eating gluten still, and I didn't know I had this, I felt really, really, really shit, and it was mainly in the mornings where I felt really bad. And over the course of the day, I'd feel better by about 3 o'clock. So I went to all these like doctors and everything, and they all told me that it could just be the fact that I'm tired in the morning, and I've got like, I'm just not a morning person at all. But it's like, it takes the average person like 4 hours to be at full level, like even longer for some. So that was what they thought it was. And it was a mixture of the two, because I still feel way like, if I tried to do half of the stuff that I do 6 hours before I've woken up, like if I wake up at 6:30 and I try to do a full workout at 10, I will be at least 50% weaker, because my body hasn't fully woke up, and I'm not at full, like, I don't know, I'm not in that full ready mode. Yeah, I don't have maximum energy. But yeah, I'd recommend training at the same time of day for anybody. Like, if you train in the morning, I wouldn't recommend that. I train at night, just because, not at night, but it doesn't have to be at night. It could be the afternoon, or evening. Like, I train at 6. But if you're training in general, I'd recommend training at the same time of day, because you're going to be at your strongest at that time of day. Even if I train 2 hours before, I'll still be weaker. And it's a bit like when I train at the weekends, because I have a home gym now. Like I said, I have the outside gym, so I'm going to be able to use that a lot more. But at the gym on the weekends, the gym shuts a lot earlier. So when I went to the gym on the weekends, I always used to feel weaker. And then I realized, oh wait, it's because I'm having to train like 4 hours earlier than I usually train, and I just don't feel right. So yeah, one big thing for me has been training at the same time, and I stick to that. Like, I won't shift my training times.
I think that's a really big tip. I think that's super important, is train at the same time. So I'm not sure it's really about morning or night, as long as it's just consistent with what works for you. I mean, I train in the morning. Like, actually, I'm going to go work out right after this. So we've got the time difference here, but I train in the morning. To me, that is full energy when I wake up and I'm out of bed, and once I'm awake, like, this is now full energy. If I wait too long in the day, I get to the afternoon, I've already been using my body all day. I'm getting spent. So I need to wake up, work out, and then like I can move on with the rest of my day
I
after my
guess you're just
training. So it's
different
like the
to me, honestly. Yeah,
yeah,
so
it's
because
just a
I'm
different.
dead in the morning. I'm dead in the morning. Like I
Really,
cannot
yeah, yeah.
train in the morning. So yeah, I guess
Well, I
uh,
drink caffeine and stuff too to wake me up. So
yeah, that could be a reason.
yeah, it could be. All right, what's your favorite skill to watch other people do?
Um, well, do you mean like insane skill? Like,
Like insane skill.
okay, so two finger planche.
Yeah,
The two finger planche. I wish I could ever do that, and I'm not gonna say I can't ever do that, but my fingers, like I can't even hold my body on two fingers. Like I couldn't even. I don't even think I could do it.
You
Like
say
hold
that
my
now.
body
We'll
on my knees.
we'll we'll bring you back on in a few months, and you'll be
Yeah, maybe I'll be.
you'll be doing this on the Cali logo.
Yeah, maybe in 2 years or 20 years. I don't know.
Yeah. No, no, no. I mean, the progress you made is insane. So
Yeah.
I would not bet against you. All right, just a couple other like good ones here. Um, what is your favorite and least favorite like calisthenics exercise, like or a drill? Like not a skill, but like just an exercise you really, really like, or an exercise you really, really like don't like but do anyway.
So there isn't back when I used to train like easier basics, like I don't really train pike push-ups and just basics anymore. I don't really train pull-ups anymore because I'm so skill focused. Um but one of the basics that I just didn't really enjoy, I guess, was pike push-ups. I just didn't like them. But I went to failure on them anyway, especially elevated pike push-ups. Just they just felt boring and just wrong. Like I just wasn't enjoying them. But I still did them. There isn't really an exercise that I hate because I just do it because I need to do it,
Right.
and it's not about how it really feels.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but an
So
exercise I really enjoy and I've enjoyed since I pretty much started calisthenics and I wanted to learn really really bad was the handstand push-up. Like I love doing the handstand push-up, and now that it's so easy for me, I can do it anywhere. It's just one of them skills that I'm
yeah,
really like
I'm
proud
jealous.
of.
I'm jealous of the ease with which you do that. Um, all right, what's one one final message for someone that's just starting their calisthenics journey?
Okay, one final message for somebody like a beginner starting the calisthenics journey
Yeah.
is um learn the handstand before anything else. Um because it's mainly balance and you don't need much strength. Also don't rush into the skill training because basics are very important, especially if you're coming from a beginner level. If you've got the transfer from weightlifting, it's a bit different. If you're coming from a beginner level, then focus on getting to a solid base level on the basics. So 15 pull-ups, 25 push-ups, 20 dips, things like that. Once you can do that, that's when you can start going into skills. But there's a lot of people who go into skills way too early, try and do tuck planches without being able to do the basics, try to do front lever training without being able to do 10 pull-ups. And it's just you're not gaining absolutely anything from that because you don't have the base strength. You're more likely to injure yourself and you definitely don't have the right form. So don't rush into it. Take it slow with until you got the base level and just spam the handstand because that's what's going to get you shoulder strength and balance.
I love it. Thanks for joining the unlock, man.
Not a
Your
problem, man.
episode
It's been
two.
it's been great.
Yeah,
Episode
it's been
two.
great to meet you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. And
Yeah, man, for sure. I hope everyone enjoyed as well. Like I hope this goes well and I hope you can sort of expand this to something big.
yeah, I mean, I just thought that there's a growing base of calisthenics people in the scene that are making content and making a splash. I'm trying to be one of them, but really at the beginner level, because
Yeah.
those bottom rungs on the ladder are often like not there, not visible, or whatever you want to call it. But it can be really a daunting thing to jump into something that's so you know, elite, right? Like a lot
Yeah.
of these skills. And so um it's there's so much we can learn from people in this space that have done it and are making these big strides. And so that's,
Yeah.
just trying to share the wisdom.
And with the amount of people that are now getting into calisthenics as well, because it really is like an up and coming sport. Like people are really starting to figure out that you can still build a really good physique, get really strong, and learn all these skills rather than just lifting weights. People are really starting to get into it. So targeting the beginner audience will be really helpful for not only them but for you as well. Like,
Yeah. No, 100%. I think that this is going to be one of the growing niches. Like, it's not going to be so niche. I think in 10
yeah,
years, like, I think this is a market that's going to grow a lot. And so I
really like
think
a
there's a
lot.
lot of opportunity because just like what you're saying, I mean, I didn't think when I was weightlifting for 7 years, right? When I started my fitness journey when I was 18, and just a year younger than you are now, right? But
Yeah.
I've, been weightlifting for so long. And when I did switch to calisthenics, I was holding on to weightlifting. Like your day one was a lot of weightlifting because you're a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
confused
Yeah.
what to do, whatever. But I was like, oh, like I care about my physique. I will always still like lifting weights and always still care about that. And I still do it. It's still in my program.
Mhm.
Um, but of course, it's heavily dominant on calisthenics. But I was surprised to see like, wow, I can really dial back the weights, and I'm just doing calisthenics, and like my physique is like not only like maybe maintaining, but maybe getting better even. And so
Yeah.
that was a big surprise to me. And I think people don't realize that what you can do with calisthenics is really like across the board. You can build strength, you can get these skills, you can have control over your body, like gain flexibility was something I never paid attention to before. Mobility, right? Like all these things that
100%.
are just so functional and useful. And so it's just this amazing new kind of space, or not new. It's not new, but it's growing
Yeah. I mean, I didn't
in
even know
fitness.
what
So
calisthenics was a year ago. Like I didn't know the word. I didn't
yeah,
know what it was or anything. So it's definitely on the rise because I've made an insane amount of progress in a year, and I didn't even know what this was a year ago. So
yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be calisthenics is gonna be at a crazy level soon, where people are doing insane skills that you couldn't even imagine. Like the skills that
yeah.
I see now are crazy, but I reckon in 5 years we're gonna be seeing some insane stuff because
Right. That's
it's
a
just
good
gonna
point. It's
grow.
constantly evolving. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Yeah, thanks again, man, for coming on. Great to speak with you, and we'll
yeah,
bring you
likewise, man.
on and again in the future.
Yeah, for sure, it'd be great. It's great chatting to you, man. I
Yeah,
hope this all goes well. And I hope everybody that listened to this enjoyed.
great. Thanks, man.